You're live.
Alrighty, it's about, I got 8:45, September 14, 2021. We'll start our next public hearing. The agenda is a discussion on the proposed tax rate. And this has also been published in the paper. It's through notification by publication in the Vindicator is required by law. Notice the public hearing on tax increase. That's a little bit facetious. If there's a tax increase, I will say this, it's due to the appraisal increase. But is that the way you read it there, Brother Rick?
Yes, sir, the values,
You can come up a little closer if you like.
good.
Since you're the one that plugs the numbers in,
Yes, sir.
thanks to the comptroller.
Since y'all asked me to do it,
Mhm.
I will act within my authority to give you the calculation. Of course, it's multi-page transactions, not just one simple transaction, but the basic difference is you take last year's rate and this year's value, and you're capped at what considers no new increase in taxes.
Right.
And we call that the the no new revenue rate, formerly the effective rate that we grew up in the tax system, referred to. The legislatures changed those. I think it's basically to make it more transparent to the public. There's going to be no new revenue if you go for that rate. You basically capture, and it's always the year before compared to this year. It's like it's in a bucket. So naturally, when you have rate and value in the bucket and the value goes up, the rate would go down correspondingly to keep that no new revenue.
Mhm.
What you capped at, the legislator said you can go up to 101.035% increase, because they figure things go up, cost of living and fuel and all these other things. So they say you can increase your rate, all things equal, by that 1.035%.
Mhm.
And that is your voter approved rate, plus or minus some other things, your Turners and your refunds, all these, there's several calculations throughout that affect that. The bottom line, it is your voter approved rate,
Which is the old rollback.
the old rollback rate,
Okay.
which anything in between those two rates are fair game up to the up to the voter approved rate or the old rollback rate. If you go above that, then you have to go to the public, have an election, put it on the ballot, November election, all that stuff.
Mhm.
So clearly since the value is going up, you have some more revenue. And your rate, again, in between those two rates, you're still to account for your increase in expenses and all these things. And that's what the legislature is capped at, is the 1.035.
So we kept our proposed tax rate the same as last year
Yes, sir.
at 0.5543 per $100 value. Okay.
Which is below your voter approved rate,
Mhm.
0.555905. So.
Right.
So you're clearly within your rights to increase your rate some to be able to account for your increase in expenses.
All right. Anybody got any questions or any discussion? Matthew, Catherine? Nothing? Good. So our proposal is to leave the tax rate the same as last year. 5543. I dare say will encroach on the voter approval tax rate. Because we don't want to give Clinton another reason to have another election. All right, we'll give it a few minutes and then we'll close out this hearing on the tax rate. Now, one question I do have between Rick and Matthew, since we have issued notification by publication for this aspect of the proposed tax rate, and there is really no change from last year. Do we have to have another public hearing on the proposed tax rate?
Let me check.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Not important. They did make some changes. It's basically if you give one hearing and you give the proper notice what you've done, technically, I think it's just over and above what the code requires.
But we could if we,
I don't think there's, I mean, you could have as many as you want, you know, meeting the public and getting a chance for feedback. I think that's, I don't think that's any violation. Again, I'm not an authority on the law on that, but I wouldn't think that you can criticize for having overabundance, but there is a minimum notice that you have to give to the public. And I think
we satisfied that.
with you going in between your rates, that you clearly are under that one meeting.
You know, they changed up the way these read, the old effective rate and the rollback rate, you know, that was one of those deals where you like, what are you talking about? But,
Yes.
of course,
they
that's no
did-
curveball when you get a chance.
They did, I think by going to the one meeting, they allowed it to be a little quicker, because some of these people, you know, some entities are having to have elections, so they want that turnaround quicker, so they can actually get it out there and get it on the ballot.
Yeah.
So by shortening that notice up, they had to, I assume the logic behind it was taking away one of those, you know, those 10 days. But I can get back to you before officially to see the tax code, but I didn't come prepared to see that. But that was my observation when I saw that you had two, that I thought that was probably a little over and above what had to do.
Yeah, we try to be just as transparent.
I like it. You can tell by the crowd today that they're really interested.
You know,
You must be doing it right.
we try every day. So.
Thanks for a minute.
So how's our storm doing out there?
It's still blowing.
Still?
It's hard to run earlier, but it's still blowing. Oh, see, I said that when I could pick that.
Okay, we can start. Got our auditor. Yeah. Stop. Okay.
Yes, yes, that's great.
Just one commissioner.
Yes. Through that conference with all those clerks and like 400 of us at the big railroad, big room. I'm just coughing away and everybody's looking at me like, oh my gosh. Like, oh, you're old, oh my God.
Yeah, that's where you're scared to clear your throat and both.
Not later than not late. It's just like flappers. There's, yeah, in a dress with fringe and a thing on the head. Like a geriatric flapper. So they were all doing that. I mean, I got pictures of clerks from.
We just have these two. Just have these. Two.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I was,
Have y'all seen anything yet?
The,
Hmm?
on the second, we're good.
We're good.
Like now, it's pretty good.
Yeah, okay. Just checking.
Well, I don't know that well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Waiting bread.
Okay, it's about almost 9. We got, we can go ahead and close out our public hearing on the tax rate. Get ready to start the regular meeting, Commissioners Court. And just a few minutes.